So, ladies and gentlemen, earlier today I was watching the game between Brazil and Senegal in a friendly out there at the Emirates Stadium in London, and it was a good game, very very good game. Really enjoyed it. It ended 2-0 to Brazil. Goals by Estevao and Casemiro, guys. And like I mentioned, it was just an international friendly, but honestly, guys, I did wanted to make this video because, guys, I really want to talk about something, guys. I want to talk about this kid, this young man, William Estevao, as us Brazilians like to call him, Messinho. I love this kid. This kid is absolutely incredible, right? Right. He's been a player who has been highly touted, right? I remember about 2 years ago, right, when Yamal broke into the scene, right, and everybody was putting all the attention on Yamal. This kid was in Brazil, I think, with Palmeiras, doing an amazing job. Many people were saying that he's at the same level as Lamine Yamal. Obviously, he was doing it in Brazil, and a lot of people don't watch a lot of Brazilian football, but people were seeing the potential. A lot of people were talking about him. He was really one of the most talked about players out there in Brazil, and I was one of the people, right, who dreamt of seeing this kid because I had seen some of his videos, some of his highlights at Palmeiras, and I was like, yo, this kid, he's got incredible potential, right? And because of, unfortunately, Barcelona's financial situation, obviously you guys know I support Barcelona, in the end we didn't get him. He ended up going to Chelsea. And I was very, very heartbroken by it, because I'm not going to lie, because I really did dream of having an Estevao Yamal team. And I do believe that if it wasn't for, the financial restrictions that Barcelona had, we might have actually landed him, right? And, it's going to be the biggest what ifs. But in the end, I'm not going to lie to you, right? When he went to Chelsea, I was very skeptical. Not because I didn't believe in his talent, but I was worried how Chelsea were going to be able to handle him, right? Because let's be honest, right? Premier League doesn't have a good track record with Brazilian players, right? I don't really like seeing Brazilians playing in the Premier League, to be honest with you, right? I think the Premier League really does stifle the ballers, right? These Brazilian ballers, right? It kind of rips away that free flowing Jogo Bonito style football that as football fans we are known Brazilians for. And I was always one of these people that always wanted to see Brazilian players in La Liga, right? I wanted to see Brazilian players in Serie A. I thought those were the leagues where Brazilians will actually be free and do whatever they want, right? If you look at the recent downfall of Brazilian football, let's be honest, right? From what it used to be, a lot of it is because, I'm going to be very honest with you guys, I think that a lot of these players, they go to the Premier League and the Premier League ruins them. You see players even like Anthony, right? When he was in Ajax, he was a highly touted player, went to Manchester United, completely fell off. Look at him at Betis, enjoying his football again, right? He's just one of many, right? And unfortunately, I was worried that Estevao would be one of those players. But I'll be the first to admit, he has actually not had a bad start at Chelsea. He's been doing well. He recently got the winner against Liverpool in the Premier League, right? He's been putting his head down and he's been doing an amazing job with Chelsea. And, I do hope that this continues. I hope that Chelsea don't, stifle his growth. But if you look at his performances for Brazil, it's been incredible. This guy has played 4 games and he scored 4 goals. He's clearly not afraid of the spotlight. And, Brazilian football has not been at its best recently, right? In recent competitions, they haven't really had one of their young players, like the Vinis, the Rodrigos, none of these guys really, kind of make the role their own like Neymar did, right? And for a long time, Brazil have been looking for that next big thing. I think they've stumbled into the next big thing, right? Obviously, I don't think he's ready for that kind of pressure. But honestly, this kid, he is the Neymar region. He's the guy that's going to carry that torch for Brazil, right? And I still would prefer him to not be in the Premier League, because honestly, I don't know how much Chelsea are going to keep, giving him freedom. But I could be wrong, because, Eden Hazard was at Chelsea, right? And they gave him freedom there. So maybe, I do hope that Chelsea do take care of him. But for me, I think this kid is incredible. And I'll tell you one thing I love about this kid, right? It's not just because of how good he is. It's also the stuff you hear about him off the pitch, right? You look at a lot of these young Brazilian players, right? A lot of them, especially these, not just Brazilian players. You look at a lot of these players in general, right? Like the Vinnies, the Hendricks, heck, even the Yamals, right? You can see, as teenagers, or at the age that they are, they're enjoying their lives, they do whatever they want. Sometimes their private lives, it kind of gets into the way of football sometimes, or sometimes it gets more attention than what they're doing on the pitch. So far, everything I've heard about this Estevao kid has been amazing signs from me, right? He's a guy who's deep in his own faith, right? I've heard, things that apparently, if you are in the Chelsea training ground, he's the one that leads the prayer. He's clearly a guy who's got his head down. He's got good people around him. And honestly, that's what you need. That's what you need, right? And he's only 18 years old, right? He needs guidance, right? Obviously, he's going to enjoy his life. He's going to do whatever he wants. But, at times like this, you need good people around you who can always be watching you, watch your back and basically give you the advice that is going to continue to propel you to where you need to be, right? And I do believe that this kid has a good head on his shoulders, right? And honestly, for me, I want to see more of this kid. He's the best. He's the next big thing. And I am so excited. I do dream that one day that Barcelona do sign him, right? Because having him and Yamal in the same team is not going to be legal. It will not be legal, right? But yeah, man, I completely love this kid. And I hope that, he continues the way he is. Because if he does, hey, listen, we can see the next big thing out of Brazil. Because Brazil definitely do need this, right? Because guys like Vinicius, they have not carried the torch from Neymar. And they don't look like they're going to be. But yeah. Let me know what you guys think about what I said in the comment section below. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. And yeah, man, big up to you guys. Take care.